Welcome to Mountain Song. My name is Sarah Krieger. I'm the Director of School Performance, and I'm responsible for all the new enrollment, and so I'm very pleased to show off our beautiful school. Come on. So this is one of our kindergarten classrooms. In Waldorf education, we really support the social and emotional development that happens in the kindergarten. And so here we have a play-based kindergarten. We really focus on nurturing the imagination that the children have. And so play is so important for them to develop these kind of skills. They really mirror the adult world. And so we want them to be able to have this opportunity to learn in the play-based model. Although it's a play-based kindergarten, we really focus on the rhythm, establishing a healthy rhythm, so that the children understand what is to be expected of them, and that lessens their anxiety, and it gets them in this healthy space where they can learn and grow. They are able to take apart this room and create a free play, unlike Montessori classrooms where there are specific workstations. The children here have the ability to really do as they see fit with their play, as long as it is, of course, healthy play with one another. And then together they will clean up after their play and come together as a group. We also have them do physical work as well. So part of their curriculum is to make their own snack. And we have a different snack that we teach the children how to make each day of the week. They also do a lot of hands-on creative activities as well, including modeling with beeswax. They also do a lot of painting, things that really nurture them and where they are developmentally. Often, a lot of our children do 2 years of kindergarten. We really look at how they're doing socially and emotionally, and also physically. How are they making certain benchmarks? All of these things that we're assessing in the children to make sure that they're going to be ready to go into the grades and be successful. So most of our children will do 2 years of kindergarten before they go to the first grade. So they will be turning 7 in the first grade. And our curriculum is really designed to meet the children where they are. Our approach to literacy is very different in the kindergarten. We really focus on the oral and oral skills, really having them develop these robust verbal skills. We tell them oral stories so that they can put the images to the words that they're hearing. And this will be the basis of comprehension. Then we will introduce the letters and letter sounds in first grade. So really thoroughly focusing on the verbal skills in the kindergarten. Before then they're writing the letters and putting the letters together for reading. We do a lot of movement-based activities. Waldorf is a very multisensory approach to education, so there's a lot of movement for the kinesthetic learners. There's a lot of oral recitation, a lot of song for the auditory learners, and of course we do lots of activities that nurture the visual learners as well. So that was one of our kindergarten classrooms. We provide both half-day kindergarten and full-day kindergarten as well. Of course, we are in remote learning right now, but as soon as we go back to our in-person instruction, we look forward to having our children come and play again and participate in many of our fun activities here. So with that, we're going to go to now a first grade classroom. So this is one of our first grade classrooms. So when the kids come into the first grade, we still realize that they're still full of imagination and creativity, and we really want to nourish that too. So in Waldorf education, we look at child development in 7-year increments. The first 7 years, we know that children really need to feel that the world is good, it's beautiful, and it's safe. That will help buoy them for the rest of their life and help them with their coping skills. Now in the first grade, their teacher is now going to be with them potentially all through their educational experience at Mountain Song. Most of our teachers loop from the first grade to the fifth grade, and then another teacher will take that class from the sixth to eighth grade. Two of our teachers, though, who have been with their classes since when they were first grade teachers, are looping all the way up to the eighth grade with their students. That really helps us develop this strong relationship with the students, and the students having a strong relationship with one another. It helps lessen classroom misbehavior, and these bonds can last between the teachers and the students for years. So in the first grade, they are now expected to sit in seats and pay attention to their classroom teacher, who will lead them through all of the core content areas. We do not work with whiteboards. We prefer working with chalkboards because then we can produce these beautiful murals that are representative of what we're teaching the children in their main lesson. The main lesson is really what I refer to as the academic heart of the day. It's an intensive 2 hours of the day that the students are focused on one particular subject. We teach in block rotations, so they'll focus on an area for maybe 3 weeks before moving on to another content area. Of course, we're integrating other subjects throughout the day, math and language usage, but they may be focused on, say, in the sixth grade, Roman history for a good 3 weeks before then moving on to another subject. We do not have textbooks. We have the children make their own textbook. This is an example of a main lesson book that the first grade students will help create along with their classroom teacher. Again, in the first grade, they will be learning letters and letter sounds and putting these letters together to form words. We also tell many stories in Waldorf education as a way to really engage the children. The classroom teacher will tell a story to the children that's very engaging about King Minos, who gave away all of his gold, or whatever the story may be. And then the next day, she will bring the story back, and the children will help recall the story. And then there will be usually a beautiful chalk mural that depicts the story. It's helpful for the children to have this the story in their minds to help recall the subjects that they're learning. This is an example of form drawing that we do with our first grade students, and this will continue through most of their years here. At first, we do these very simple designs. This helps with hand-eye coordination. We also do a lot of designs that help strengthen the corpus callosum by having the children cross the midline in their writing. In the second grade, we say that children are starting to explore the duality of their nature. They're learning how to be a little mischievous, and maybe they're also learning about their noble characteristics. We use stories with our children throughout each of the grades that really speak to the experience that that child was going through developmentally. And so the pedagogical stories that we use in the second grade are really like fables, and also stories about notable characters in history and in different mythology that really talk about these noble characteristics, so that these children can have an image of good, brave, and true and honest characters, so that they could hopefully emulate that in themselves. We also start to do a lot more with writing, arithmetic, and reading in the second grade as well. Throughout our school, we focus a lot on the social and emotional learning. We do this through our kindness curriculum. We also focus on restorative justice, making sure that the children can navigate hard, complicated social conflicts and know what to do if they find themselves in those conflicts. And we also make sure that they know to be good people when they leave our school, that they can advocate for themselves, they can stand up for their friends. So you will see lots of examples of how we integrate kindness. We also teach the children many different hands-on activities. We work with high quality materials. We order special materials that come sometimes from Germany. We work with high quality watercolors, high quality watercolor paper. We want the children to have an appreciation for quality work, and so that they learn that they don't live in a disposable world, that they take some pride in what they do. Handwork is a subject that we teach to our children starting in first grade. They'll learn how to knit. They will advance and start to learn how to crochet in the third grade, do embroidery in the fourth grade, and continue to advance these hands-on skills. Art is infused in everything that we do. Again, this is very nurturing for the child, engages them in many of the activities. We also integrate music in many of our subjects. This is our resident third grade classroom with Miss Aida Bannock. This is my favorite classroom because it's so charming. In the third grade, again, we are a public school, but we tell a lot of stories, again, that speak to the third grader and what they're going through developmentally. And so we tell lots of stories, some Native American stories, but also some Hebrew stories too, because there are certain archetypes that really harken to that experience that the child's going through. Most of our third graders are going through what we refer to as the 9-year change, where they start to see themselves as separate from the family or the group. They're starting to solidify this idea about their individual nature. And it's a little disconcerting for some students, and they may have some emotional regression during this time. And so a lot of these stories that we tell, again, we're a public school, but we tell these stories about, say, Moses being exiled, because that really speaks to that experience of that 9-year-old feeling a little different or separate from the group. We also teach, now reading is becoming more common. We're going to start teaching them cursive handwriting. They also start to learn how to crochet and handwork. They are now transitioning from learning to read to reading to learn. That will be the basis of their what they do in fourth grade and on up. We have here some examples of the artwork that they do. We do whole group instruction, and so the teacher leads them through these painting exercises. We get them to appreciate just the very act of putting paint on paper, how the paints relate with one another. And so we have some examples here of our student work, and on the board we have some examples of the top drawings that our teachers created for them. This is our fourth grade classroom with Miss Katie White. Miss White is new to our classroom this year, but she's fabulous and really has taken on Waldorf education so thoroughly. So in the fourth grade, as they're reading more, they're starting to learn about ancient cultures and stories. And so they're learning right now, they're learning about Norse mythology. And so they really enjoy learning about these Norse gods and goddesses. And they also learn about the animal kingdom. So they're learning about zoology. They are doing a lot of measurement as well in the 4th grade. And so here we have some good examples of the main lesson that they're covering. Again, they're going over Norse mythology. Here's some examples of some student work as they are learning about different animals in the animal kingdom. This is an example of a student main lesson book in the 4th grade. So again, they're going over the Norse myths right here. This is typical of what you would see in a main lesson book, where you would have an artistic rendering on one side and then some writing or math work on the other side, depending on what it is that they're covering. We really ask the children to take care of their main lesson pages and create borders so that everything looks nice, and that, again, they're taking pride in the work. The wonderful thing about the main lesson books is that the parents will receive these at the end of the year, and it really does show the progression of the children's skills and their learning as well. And they're wonderful to go back and refer to, because you can see how much the children have grown, and in their artistry and in their writing and in their knowledge. So these are very valuable, probably more so than any report card or assessment that we could offer as in terms of depicting and showing the progression of that child. So here we are in the Mountain Maples 5th grade classroom. 5th grade is a very fun year for our students. They're learning about ancient mythology. They're learning about ancient Mesopotamia, ancient Persia, ancient India, ancient Egypt, and ancient Greece, which is the real theme for the 5th grade. They learn about these Greek gods and goddesses, that they really enjoy these stories, and really kind of these archetypes really kind of speak to their experiences that they're going through in the 5th grade. They even compete in normal years. They compete in a pentathlon with other Waldorf schools in Colorado. And so they train all year with a games and movement teacher in discus and javelin and wrestling and running, and then dress up as Grecians and then compete with other Waldorf schools. So it's a rite of passage that all of our 5th grade students look forward to. They also learn about North American geography. They learn about botany. They're starting to do free hand geometry, getting them prepared for geometry in 6th grade. And so it's a very fun year for our 5th grade students. We also do, in normal years, we also have lots of performances. Each of our grades participates in a school play. It's very important for the children to be a part of a production so that they can feel they can become these characters on stage. They gain this confidence, and some of our more quiet children then can play like they're very confident kings, and that really does a lot for their confidence and engagement in their education. We're in now the middle school. We're in Jessie Rochette's 6th grade classroom. And 6th grade, I think, is my personal favorite because we teach them so much. The curriculum becomes very enriching and really blossoms into this very textured, multifaceted curriculum in the 6th grade. And we teach them astronomy. We teach them Roman history leading up to the medieval ages. We teach them artistic geometry, where to look for certain patterns in nature and in architecture. We teach them physics. We will do a physics block starting in 6th grade every year until they're in 8th grade. And we teach sciences through what's called phenomenology, the study of the natural phenomenon. They begin this early on in the younger grades, and when they go outside and they're playing with natural things and exploring the world, and we're teaching them how to hone in their observational skills so that when they are in the sciences that they can really observe things and start to build this natural inquiry. That will really help them retain this information. We can simply provide all the information to them, but that might not stick. And so we want them to have these hands-on experiential lessons that will really mean something to them and will stick. We also teach them business math as well in the 6th grade, and so teaching them practical application of the math skills, which is really rewarding for them, teach them life skills as well. And so they are really introduced to things that are a really quality education in the middle school years. Some of this that we are teaching to our 6th grade, I didn't learn until I was in college, and so I feel like it's a very rewarding education for our middle school. So this is Miss Alicia McCabe's 7th grade classroom. She has been with this class since the 1st grade, and they absolutely adore her. They are a tight-knit class. They get along very, very well, and I know that they'll have lifelong friendships out of this class after they leave Mountain Song. So in the 7th grade, for the 7th grader who they have their sights on their horizon, the world is their oyster, we teach them about the age of exploration. And so they'll learn about European explorers. They'll also learn about other continents. So they're learning about Africa right now. They also learn about the Renaissance, and they'll learn about perspective drawing. They'll also learn, again, physics. They'll start to learn about simple machines and pulleys. They'll also learn a lot about creative writing and human physiology in the 7th grade. And last but not least, we're here in our 8th grade classroom. This is the Ginkgo classroom. This is with Mr. Nathaniel Dolce, who's an excellent teacher here. And we are really focused on making sure that our children are prepared to enter the 9th grade in whatever high school that they end up going to. And so our focus in the 8th grade, of course, is developing the math skills that they'll need to be successful in high school. We also teach them because they feel like they know everything that there is to know. And so we teach them about the age of revolution and rebellion. That really kind of speaks to the experience of the 8th grader. So we'll teach them about different revolutions through the history leading up to modern times. We'll also teach them certain skills about how to study and prepare them for the study skills that they'll need to acquire for high school. We also talk about human physiology, so this is a continuation from what they're learning in the 7th grade. We continue on with their physics units as well. If for handwork, what they are doing now is working on a cumulative project, all the skills that they've learned in the previous years with us at Mountain Song, and creating something that they'll share with the rest of the class and the rest of the school. And creating an 8th grade project, which is also something that they really focus on. It is a cumulative project that they will share out with their class and others. And some of these projects are so incredible what they do, and a lot of times they give back to the school. So we have a Gaga pit that one of our former students built and gave to the school. So we know that when children do the program with us year after year, that when they exit Mountain Song, that they have these social and emotional skills, they have these study skills, and they have this appreciation for different different lessons that will carry with them for the rest of their life. Now we're in one of our special education rooms. This is our resource room. We do work with varying degrees of abilities in our school, and we have this room for the students that need one-on-one instruction, and also sometimes they just need a break and they have sensory needs, so they come down here and utilize this area. So we have this great log that they can balance on and walk along, or a swing to help them relax. So we are definitely supportive of our different learners in our building, and try to support everyone in their needs. Waldorf Education is not known for its use of technology, but during COVID, we've had to make some adaptations and adjustments. And so we are doing virtual classes right now, but we recognize that our students really do not do well if they're on screen all day long, and that's very exhausting for them, and it's just not good for them. So we provide packets of materials so that they can work on this at home, these enriching hands-on activities at home that don't require so much screen time. And so here you have an example of our packet pickup. Our teachers put together these wonderful packets for then the parents to come and collect, and the children to work on at home. Okay, and welcome to our favorite classroom. This is our outdoor classroom. It is, of course, dormant now since it's winter time, but during the summer months, this is green with life and growing things. We teach the children agricultural arts. We teach them how to grow their own food and how to make food with the produce that they grow. We also have chickens where the kids, they actually help take care of the chickens and collect the eggs and then learn how to cook things with the eggs. So we really try to show the kids where their food comes from, where their clothes come from, so that they understand, again, that this is, they have an appreciation for things and that they don't live in a disposable world. They also learn how to compost. They feed the compost to the chickens, and with the chicken manure we put on the beds, and then we grow things. So we're teaching them this sustainable closed loop system as well. So lots of amazing things happen in our agricultural arts classroom. During the winter months, they are learning about environmental education. For some of our students, they're learning all about bats. And other classes, they're learning about the history of maize or corn in North America. And so all of these enriching things that the kids really love and respond to very well. We really encourage a lot of our families to volunteer, all of our families to volunteer. We ask that each household contribute 40 volunteer hours a year, and that can look like a lot of different activities. One really great activity is taking care of our animals while we're away and helping us weed and garden during the summertime. So a lot of our families participate in that. We also do lots of festivals. Festivals are such an important part of Waldorf education. We really mark the season changes during this time, and so we'll have winter fairs, we'll have harvest festivals, and then of course our big festival in the spring is our May Fair, where we have a maypole and we dance around the maypole, and we have games and face painting and food and music, lots of activities that the community can enjoy. So we hope that you're interested in our school. If you are interested in applying for our school, you are welcome to go to our website at mountainsongschool.com and fill out an intent to enroll form for next school year. We will have those available all year, but if you get your intent to enroll form in by January 31st, your child will be entered in an enrollment lottery that happens the second Tuesday of February. And after that, we'll let you know where your child is in the classroom or where he or she is on the wait list. We hope to have some in-person school tours as soon as this virus is
gone. And so if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. Again, my name is Sarah Krieger, and please visit our website for more information.